Howdy folks, it's Tall Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are going to catch up and do the last bush trip at the time of this recording. So what do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25, 26. I'm recording this shortly after World Update 9. But you're watching this in, if I look at my update schedule, you're watching this in early August. So I'm sure there's been probably even World Update 10 by now, I would think, or else we're getting close to it. So at the time of this recording, we're going to catch up, and then I can be current with the bush trips and start doing some other flights that are not bush trips. We've been doing bush trips for like a year and a half now, which is fun. I love doing them. I like being someone who does all the bush trips. If you're new to the sim, I don't know how you'd ever catch up, but here we go. So after this bush trip is complete, we'll be 100% at the time of this recording. So here we go, the last one to choose from, right? If I double check, these are all 100% except the Sicily one. Yep, Sicily journey. Let's click on to see. 3.5 hours it says. So it's going to take me forever. How many legs? 6 legs. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this a little differently. Instead of 1 leg per video, I think we're going to do 2 legs per video, maybe 4, not 4, maybe 3. And I'm going to do less talking and more editing, so we can do 2 or 3 legs and still get a video around 45 minutes or so. I'm thinking, because why not? It also means I'm probably going to space them apart more and upload them maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Sicily, my dad's family's from Sicily. My dad's grandmother was from Sicily. So I have Italian in me. I don't look Italian though. I look much more my Scandinavian heritage than my Italian heritage. My mom's side, like cliche Scandinavian, typical stuff. My dad's side, yeah, as you get more on my dad's side, they do look more Italian, I guess. And then one of my dad's sisters married full-blooded Native American. So my first cousins, direct line across, have a lot of Native American heritage, which I love because I grew up around them, so I was involved in all that, which was awesome, even though I am Italian and Scandinavian. But anyway, so Sicily, exciting because this is where my great grandmother was from. And so there we go. That's the personal part of it, which I'm going to keep doing personal stuff. I know a lot of you actually like that, and I do too. When I watch other people do stuff like Minecraft and they talk about personal stuff, I love it. Which is a commodity. I don't know what it is. It's just, I like to talk with people about more than the weather, I guess. Alrighty, here you go. Sicily is a mountainous, triangular-shaped island located just off the southwestern coast of the Italian peninsula, one of the country's 20 national regions, and one of 5 considered autonomous. It is separated by the mainland by the narrow Strait of Messina and is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea. Steeped in history that dates back thousands of years to the Ice Age, Sicily is inhabited by roughly 5 million people today, minus the ones that moved here on my dad's side. And that was way funnier in my head. The region maintains a heritage of rich agricultural bounty, the foundation of its economy, due to its favorable climate combined with its fertile volcanic soil. Olives, grapes, and wine are its most notable products. There we go, a little bit about Sicily. Alright, let's see if we can get the first 2 legs done in this video. Here we go. What's that all about? Actually, wait a second. Before we go, let's have a look at what are, oh my, grass, paved, grass, paved. Huge. Okay, this is going to be an interesting trip. What are we flying in? Yay, the Skyhawk. Okay, easy airplane. So no matter what we're landing on, no problem there. Alright, now, here we go. So first thing we're going to do is get rid of this thing. Turn that off. Let's turn on the wind even though we don't need it. And we are suffering from that issue where on the ground we have a, what are you trying to say here? A frame rate issue, but as soon as those wheels leave, frame rates will be like in the 70s or something. So let's not worry about the frame rates right now because it's the whole thing on the ground. And I was looking at the preview thing, and the bush trip starts here, goes all the way around the island, and ends right there, which I think is hilarious. That's awesome. Alright, let's zoom in. Actually, we can zoom out more. There we go. Let's go like that. Cool. Alright. Flaps. One set of flap down, please. Let's hop outside and see where we are. And again, as soon as our wheels leave the ground, our frame rates are going to skyrocket to the 60s or 70s, so we're fine. So here we go. Let's have a preview of where we are here. Ew. Oh, that's right. If you remember, so a few months ago this would have been, people were complaining that the Italian World Update had too many trees. So they significantly cut down trees on server side. And now we have a lot of places that should have trees and we don't. I don't understand that at all. Maybe that's been changed by the time you watch this, but back in mid-May, when I'm mid to late May when I'm recording this, that is the case. And it's frustrating as I'll get out, and I forgot about that. Anyway, look at this amazing town. Holy cow. Jeez. And here's the big question. Our navlog. Is it correct? Because we had that. All of the bush trips on the Iberian Peninsula were terribly screwed up. Hopefully this is correct. I really hope it is. And we get to land along a beach. Okay, so this is leg 1. And we haven't left the bush trip yet. So we do have the benefit of having the GPS. And we will use it because we can. And it's available to us. And then subsequent legs, we will, see there we go, see it ends up where we started. Subsequent legs we will manually navigate. But anyway, we're heading to Lilac. That's what I'm going to call it. Yep, so that's where we're going. So along the beach, we don't have to go too high for altitude, I don't think. Not 10,000 feet. We're going along the beach. Let's go 3,000 and see if that's enough. That might be pushing it. That might be a little risky. Let's try it. We'll climb if we need to. So we're going to have flight director on. We're going to use nav for this because we can. We are going to do vertical speed. We're going to nose up 600 feet per minute because why not? And we'll use the GPS for this leg and the next leg because we're going to do the same video. But then after that, we will not use GPS. So here we go. Let's read about where we're going. Right off Palermo. After taking to the sky, it's Mediterranean sky from Palmero, Bocca di Falco Airport. Head east to Sicily's capital, Palermo, beginning on a journey that is visually spectacular and also reveals the area's geography and varied history. So we're just going to follow the GPS for that. Then 2 minutes in, which is right away, we'll go to Bulgaria. Turn to an east-southeast heading and pass over a small strip of Bay of Palermo to the historic seaside city of Bulgaria. Home at one point to all Sicily's aristocracy. Holy moly, guacamole. And this will expand again because it's a nasty bug that I hate, as is the stopwatch will stop every time you close it. You can minimize it, it's fine, but it's annoying. So I just close it, and this is annoying anyway. So here we go. This is capital city, which we've just previewed from the air, and then another historic city. Piece of cake. So here we go. Parking brake off. Let's get going. Not much else to say. I could talk more, and I usually do actually, but for this bush trip, I want to talk less and just see how it goes. Although I know a lot of you do actually say keep talking and talk more, but for this one, I'm going to try to talk less. So less talking, more sightseeing, combine a couple trips here. And this plane is so slow compared to the other ones I've been flying. That feels like forever. So here we go. Oh my gosh. And as soon as we get up here, frame rates will be awesome. We actually don't need this timer. We're going to use the timer on the GPS. So I'll show you how that works in a second. If I can get that off, I can't. Alrighty, flaps coming in, brakes to stop the wheels because they're fixed. Let's hand fly out of here because we can. Let's get rid of that thing. And let's climb. There we go. Whoa, what the heck was that? Anyway, we are doing okay. Let's fly this out a little bit by hand because we can. And then we'll engage autopilot in a moment so we can sightsee from the outside. And with the reduced vegetation, this looks just terrible. Maybe they've changed that now by the time you watch this. I sure hope they do. But at the time I record this, it's a mess. Just because people complain that there's too much vegetation in Italy. I don't understand. I don't get it. Considering this is a bush trip, though, why do they have to pick a post-apocalyptic city? Interesting. Interessante. Molto interessante. Alright, here we go. Let's engage autopilot, because I'm trying to sightseeing is not working too well. So let's engage autopilot. There we go. Really windy today. Now why are you S-curving just to go a little bit? You're... No. Now we're lined up. Yeah, now we're going to come back. Anywho, let's hop outside and let's have a quick look together, and then we will go to sightseeing without me. And, we'll look for a tiny beach. And how do we know how long it's going to be? Because it says right there. We'll tell the next thing. And then it'll be, that's what they want us to look for the town. And then it'll be the beach after those 18 seconds. See, right here. We're headed to this town, which is not on the beach. What? It's a historic city, though. Yeah. Okay. 4.5 minutes. There we go. Sightseeing time for you. I'm going to talk a little. I already talked a lot. I'm just going to give you some nice views of Sicily, and that's where we're headed right there. I'll see you there. So there's the town right off the nose, and hop outsiders. We can see it. There we go. Beautiful. All right. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying beautiful of the idea, but it still looks nasty. So nasty. It's all satellite. Look at. There are a few autogen buildings. The rest is all satellite. There's a cool tunnel, though. Why in the world did they scale everything back? Because people complained about a few too many trees. I don't get it. Again, as you watch this, being a couple months later, I really hope it's fixed. Because this is driving me nuts. Alright, it's probably going to put us into that mountain, isn't it? Yes, it is, because that's how it works. We'll have to take over in a second here. What is next? Next is Sicily, east-northeast of Termini Mercy. Directly on the coastline of the sea and cliffs and coves is the town of Sicily. Or is it Cefalù? A major tourist attraction due to its beaches, and that's 8 minutes out. Okay, good. We're not going to crash into the mountain. Alright, because we can, let's look at where it is on here. POI 4 is definitely directly on the beach, and it looks like it's probably like right here. So when we get there, we'll look for some really nice beaches and some tourists. Maybe they'll wave, and we'll wave back. Let's read about the next thing before it turns us. Hopefully not turns us into this mountain. What is next? We already looked at that. And it's supposed to have all these tourists, which we'll look outside in a moment and see if they wave. But let's prepare. After this will be Santo Stefano de Camastra, due east of Cefalu. Like Santo Stefano de Camastra, a town overlooking the turquoise water of the Tyrrhenian Sea. So there's another little town coming up, which if you look at our little cheater map, which isn't cheating, you just use the tools available to you, it's going to be over here, the town before it bumps out again. Okie dokie, not too complicated. Let's hop outside and have a look at the tourists. Anybody waving? I see some resorts and some pools, but I have a feeling the touristy part is actually up here. Come on, there we go, up here by the mountain, I think. I love all these roads going through tunnels. I assume it's supposed to be that way. It just looks insanely awesome. Very, very cool. And there we go, beaches and everything. Let's get the airplane back in view. Wrong one, there we go. Beaches and everything. Oh, look at that. There we go. They're the tourists. You see them waving at us? I see them waving at us. Look at the people on the beach. That is a crowded beach in the satellite imagery. And more tunnels of roads. Look at that. Alright, it should turn us any minute. And then we're going to look for a little town. Way up here. And, pretty straightforward. I will see you when we get there. It's before this bump out somewhere. One of these bump outs. Alright. See you in 7:14. So the reference image shows it touching the beach, so that has to be right there. So let's point at it. Keep it on the horizon, so a little bit of throttle to stop descending here. Because again, if you get too low, then you're going to lose sight of it. So let's point at it here. And keep our speed up a little bit. We're a little too early for flaps yet. I said point at it, please. Point at it. Throttles. Attitude up. There we go. Keep it pointed at that so you do not lose it. Anyway, look at those bridges. Amazing. I really like the tunnels coming out the bridges back into tunnels. We are going to act as though it's a short field landing, so we will do full flap, land somewhat firmly at stall, and keep the yoke back so the nose wheel comes down on its own and we don't slam into the ground. That's how we're going to do this. First set of flaps. Let's come on down. And we're just going to easily glide on in here. Keep the attitude at the end of the runway so we don't lose it. The throttles are back to control our descent. And second set of flaps. And trim it back because I'm fighting the yoke. And after all that, that is not our runway. It's close to our runway, but that is not a runway. So full throttle, flaps coming in. That's weird. Where is our runway then? Do we have to come out to another? Hang on, let's stay one flap though, because we're actually not that far away. Where is it then? Oh, there it is. Oh dear, that's strange. Okay, that was very strange way to look at that. Okay, so we actually have to turn Alright, so we're off to a pretty painful start here. The scenery is garbage. Okay, the scenery is garbage relative to the other bush trips. I still like all of the scenery because, I appreciate it, given, all the other flight sims I've grown up with, but relative to other flight sims, this is garbage. It's terrible. I mean, the photo telemetry is on and everything. This is not base mesh. This is satellite imagery. They just reduced everything because people were complaining about it was too much or something. And now it looks terrible. So anyway, the scenery is garbage, and we almost landed at the wrong airport, which wasn't an airport. So here we go. Let's find the airport. Has to be this then, or that then. Maybe that? I don't know. It just suddenly got more difficult, though, if that's it up there. Yeah, look at all that stuff. It's in the satellite, but nothing is in the autogen. It's just frustrating. Alright, here we go. Let's pay attention to what we're doing so we don't smack into this mountain. Or we're just going to follow the coast till we understand the runway orientation. Because I'm thinking now it's this here, which means we should be coming from the water side, maybe? Not the road side? Yeah, probably. We should probably be coming from the other way, but we're going to do it turtle style, and we're going to try to do it like this. Because we can, even though we have tons of wind coming off the hills, as you would in real life. Yeah, that's the runway there. We should be coming from the other way. Whatever. We're going to do it like this. We do have 2 flaps down already. I believe we have 3 in this airplane. Yep, at least 3. And we're just going to come off this hill here and land right over this road. So there's full flap now. And be careful with the speed, because we're going to gain speed as we nose down. And we want as little speed as possible. And do not try this at home. We should definitely be landing from the other direction. But I don't care. This is hilarious. And there's that cool looking building right there. What is that? Anyway, look at this. I mean, the satellite is great. I appreciate it. But there's not even good satellite imagery. And then the stuff, there's nothing on top of it. It's a disaster. Here we go. Now we're hot. Now we're really hot. That's okay. Whoa, let's level off. That was awful. Do not do this at home. There we go. Let's touch down gently. Anyway, 3/4 of the way down the runway. Oh, we are yoke back. Flaps coming in. Nose go down on its own and slam on the brakes. And there we go. That is not how you land in your plane. This is the first time you see me fly. I was just screwing around. Seriously, I wasn't taking that 100% seriously. But anyway, we're going to do 2 legs on this video, so let's do the next leg right now. Alrighty, come down here, flaps up. We need to repair and refuel, which is actually over here. And because we did not stop the bush trip in between, we are simply going to keep the GPS, which just for this leg, again, we might as well. And then for the next leg, starting the next leg, we'll have to navigate manually. So, not a big deal. What were we at? Were we at 3,000 or 4,000? I think we're at 3,000. Can we stay at 3,000? Let's see where it's taking us. We're going all the way around to here. It could put us into those mountains. Let's do 4,000. And we'll do vertical speed. And a whopping 800 feet per minute. There we go. That's all done and easy. And one set of flaps down. 1, 2, 3. 1 it is. Actually, yeah, we'll do 1. We're going to back taxi because we're going to take off in the direction that we're heading. Let's read about where we're going first, though. We're going to go to Capo de Orlando. From Minotaur Medusa Airfield, head to the northeast, skirting along the water's edge to the town of Capo de Orlando, located on a rocky prominence. So far, the bush trip navigation is correct. Yay. That'll take a little bit. And then after that, we're going to go Marina di Patti, due east of Capo de Orlando, located on the shore of a small cove, is Marina di Patti, a small town that dates to medieval times. So those are POIs 6 and 7. So we're going to do these 2 together without me talking. So we're going to go to that town and then the cove, and then I'll come back with you for 8. So here we go. We have to use the HUD because when you do circle view, you cannot turn off the HUD in bush trips. You can in free flight. We can't turn it off in bush trips, so we got to look at it. But we're just going to use it to back taxi here, which is way easier than the X-Cub. which wants to tip over. But anyway, I am so disappointed in the scenery of this bush trip. This is probably the worst one. This is probably the worst one. Because look at that tree to our left. That hill to our left. It should be full of trees. It should be completely full of trees. And it's not. Because they took them out. Again, I have to have a disclaimer. By the time you watch this, maybe they put them back in. But the time of this recording, they're not there. And I'll even show you that all my stuff is set up. Because someone asked me in a previous leg, they're like, oh, you're missing some stuff. You must not have tomography or whatever turned on. I'm like, oh, it's all turned on. It's just some bush trips are terrible and some are amazing. And this one is terrible. But that's okay. We'll stop complaining. And we'll just get through it. Not get through it, but yeah, we'll just get through it. Anyway, this is back taxi here. And we'll turn around at the very end of the runway. And I think our next runway is going to be pretty sketchy too. Oh, I can't even look at that mountain. All right, let's stop here a second. Like this. And set the parking brake, hop inside. And yeah, our next one's kind of sketchy too. But I want to show you, is it here? Is it this one? Yeah, see, everything is on. Everything is on. Yep, everything is on. Everything is on, everything is on, everything is cranked up. It's just that bad right now. Bummer. Anyway, here we go. Parking brake off. Hold the brake a second, rev it up. And away we go. And as soon as it's in the air, I'll turn off my voice and give you just some sightseeing until we get to the cove, and then we'll read about the next few things here. Trying to combine a few POIs, unless there's something super specific to look at. And there's 58. Just big set the wheels. Oh, we have plenty of runway. What am I thinking? Flaps coming in. We'll climb a little bit on our own before we engage autopilot. But God, that's just so bad. Oh, this is so bad. Especially because we've seen, like, seriously, level 11 scenery and bush trips. It's a bummer, but that's okay. There will always be more bush trips. Okie dokie. Let's engage autopilot, do a smooth enough handoff here. Bam. Can't even tell we engage autopilot. Alrighty, sightseeing for you, and I'll see you when we get to that cove. See you in a little bit. Alrighty, so somewhere up here is a castle. Somewhere. Does it say, whoops, not on here. Does it say on the map where exactly the castle is? It says it's near the beginning part, so let's use this view here to see if we can see anything, because the GPS will put us right over it. What is that weird tower sticking up there? We'll look for a castle. Don't quite see one yet, but let's look out the window and enjoy the view. Hey, it got a little better. Not much, but a little better. That's good, because it certainly could have gotten worse, that's for sure. And back outside, here we go. Hiccups again, sorry, no castle yet. Let's see if we can find it. Still no castle. If it's a handmade thing, there it is. You can tell because it sticks out like a sore thumb. We talk about this in all the bush trips. Whenever there's a point of interest that is handmade, it has a cartoonish feel to it and sticks out like a sore thumb, which the benefit is it makes it easy to spot. The downside is it sticks out like a sore thumb, right? The autogen is all fine, but the POIs look weird. So there it is right there. Can't make out too much of it from this high, but it's there. Yep. Okie dokie. Let's hop back inside and see where it's going now. What is that tower? That is so weird. But yes, the scenery's getting a little bit better. It's still on like a 5 out of 10, but it's better. Alright, after the castle, it says head due east over small sliver of water in the cove, which is Midlotto sits, and into the highlands of the northeast horn of Sicily. Good grief, Sicily. The port of Messina lies in a nearly enclosed cove on the eastern flank of the mountains over which you are flying. Okay, so there's mountains we're flying over. Yep. Then there's a cove. Must be right here, huh? I bet it is if we look at the next POI on the map, since we can. It's in there somewhere. It goes from 9 to 11, so 10 has to be in here. Yeah, right there. I was right. Bam. Okie dokie, so we're flying to that. And the mountains are here. We have plenty of clearance, I think. Plenty of altitude. I'll adjust if needed, otherwise I'll see you at the cove. Alright, the GPS looks pretty scary with all that terrain, and that's what it looks like outside. We have some of the vegetation up here, but not nearly as much as we should, based on the satellite immediately under it. And we are dealing with it. Is there really a road up there? It shows one on the satellite, but maybe there is. Maybe there is. That'd be awesome, though, to be up there. The shoehorn is right in front of us. It's under us now, actually. You can't see it. And if you recall, we saw these when we went around Sardinia. Remember that? Ring any bells? I'll let you put 2 and 2 together there, but remember those towers? And here we are outside looking at the horn. That is into a cove, kind of like a fractal. And it looks gorgeous. Alrighty, so the GPS is going to turn us any minute, and I am looking forward to the next leg, where we will not have the GPS, but it's fun to use it when we can. And just enjoy the big view of the city with the mountains in the background if you're looking here. And more interesting things if you look ahead across the water. Alright, let's hop inside. We're safe, and let's see, when is it going to turn us? In 44 seconds, so let's read about the next thing. Is it this? I believe it is. Turn to a southwest heading, tracking away from the coastline. To your left, fly along a loosely defined ridge of peaks toward the highest mountain in front of you, Monte Carlo, which lies below, or below which lies Bosco San Fernando. Ferdinando. Okay, and then we're just going to turn and go along the coast, basically. And then after that, as the town turned into a south-southwestern heading, aiming obliquely toward the sea, sight a headland with two distinct points. The location of Taromina, a town perched on a cliff that stands above the Ionian Sea. So we're going to go here, look for high mountain, and then we're going to look for two peaks. And then that's what we will rejoin with conversation. So hopefully you enjoy the sightseeing along the way. I'm looking at that park in the middle. It is now time for us to act because the airport is actually right in front of us. So let's take off autopilot here and fly the plane in ourselves. Oh man, my throat is all like scratchy, but that's okay. So let's hop over to the water. And then we will see the airport up there. And this mountain is in the next video. We're actually, the navlog I looked ahead sends us right up it and then back down. And we're actually just going to go across it. I thought I'd point that out in case you want to see that next leg. We will, the next leg, but from afar, not up against it. But in the meantime, we have to land at Lip, which is right here, I believe. It's right after the water. Maybe. Well, maybe it's right there. It's by some grapes or something. Not grapes. Yeah, maybe grapes. Maybe raspberries. A little strip there. And then some buildings covered in moss. Right here. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully we have better luck than we did in the last one. And we were pretty high because we're coming over the mountains. Because that's where it wanted to take us. But now we're taking matters into our own hands. And let's get down here. Where is it though? It must be here because I see the river coming in. And there's a river coming in, so it has to be right there. So let's line up with it and then we'll slip it a little bit. In fact, let's just slip it now. We'll do a right rudder, left wing. Whoa. It was way easier to slip the other one, the other airplane. But anyway, slipping it will allow us to drop like a rock while we gain no speed. And we're lost, I think. Yeah, that's not the runway there. I can't find this thing. The reference image looks nothing like the area around us. Let's do one set of flaps curving kind of slow. It says it's just to our right now. Like right there? No. Where is this airport? Because look at the GPS. It says we're over it right now. It says it's right here. Look at. I don't see anything here. So we're going to do something. We're going to act with pods, which I normally don't do because it can screw up your airplane, see? Gotta be careful. You could stress it. And let's see what's going on. I normally do not do this for bush trips. I normally find it on my own. But it says we're over it, and there's nothing here. There's nothing here at all. So what do we do? What do we do? Do we like taxi around for a while? It says LIPP, right? Do we just taxi around until we get the save icon? Now it says it's behind us. We've had this happen before in another airport. You know, we've done like 23 bush trips now, and we have had it happen before. Let's go like this. Let's look at the reference image again. And it says there's all this pretty stuff here with buildings in the little strip. And you all saw I have my stuff all turned on. I showed you my settings early in the video. Everything is turned on the way it's supposed to be. Everything is cranked up. So when they reduce vegetation, I wonder if they screwed this up. Because remember, they reduced some stuff? Like, that's not it there. No. Is it up here maybe? Maybe it's up on top of this cliff. That could be, and we're just too... Yep, there it is. It's on top of this cliff. On this plateau. I bet it is. Let's do full flap, because there it is. Yep. We have like no chance at a final here. Let's see if we can land without going around. I doubt it. We should go around. There it is. Okay, that was really strange. So my zoom on my GPS wasn't the greatest, so it looked like we were on it when we weren't. And here we go. Again, do not land this way. Those of you who have never seen a bush trip of mine, this is not how I normally fly a plane. Others can vouch for me. Oh, are we going to stop in time? That's the question. Oh god, this is going to be a close one. Oh yeah, we made it. We normally don't fly like this. This just isn't going very well for us. Hopefully it gets better. We still have like 6 legs or something left. So there you go, legs 1 and 2 in one video. 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is in the next video. So subscribe when you know when they drop. Send a like so other people know we exist. Check out some other bush trips while you're waiting. And I'll see you next time.